Hello everyone, welcome for this new community show, now monthly. We are in August and I will be discussing today with Drindin about the new content, what you can expect in Embers Adrift in the future, and also, of course, the summer event and some community news. Let's get started. There we are, Drindin. So happy to see you. How are you doing?
Yeah, great to see you too. I'm doing good. It's been a very busy month. August has been crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're really excited about what we've got coming up for everyone. So let's dive in.
Yeah, it's feel indeed crazy because we did the show last month, but it feel like in an eternity. It
Yeah,
feel
it
literally
feels
an
like it
eternity.
was a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's just 1 month, so there it is. Yeah, this month has been crazy. We had the summer event, we had many different things, and also we have kind of missed each other during the months. So it will be great because I will be able to talk about summer events. You will be able to talk in detail about the design decision and what's in place and all of that. So
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting show today, and some people are super excited about the new update, which is good. We like when people are super excited. It's always nice. All
yeah,
right.
pretty excited about it.
So we're going to start right away with the patch note. Set bonuses! Get your set bonuses! This patch we are adding set bonuses to tickle the fancy of collectors everywhere. This should add another decision layer to gearing up for your adventures. This month is also a little lighter on content due to continued work for upcoming news zone content and quests. So basically we are working on the stuff that you will see later on, and there had been a lot of little detail, little quality of life, little polish that you have been asking, that you have been requesting, that you will see in a moment. So let's read all of that. Minor performance improvement to networking code in tech segment, fixed an issue that prevented some mail from being delivered, fixed a navigation issue in Mammoth's Cave. I think that one people will be happy about.
Yeah, I think people are gonna really like that. I know that there was one issue at some point where they couldn't get Mammoth to come out of the cave, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that should be fixed.
And there had
Um,
been several attempts as well for fixing this encounter.
Well, we've also had several attempts with the mail issue, and that's finally put to
Oh,
bed, I hope. So
yeah. That's very true. So
there's
some
always
important bugs.
something.
Yeah, indeed, it is. So environment art. Fixed stock spot in Grizzle Peak, Dryfoot, Grimstone Canyon, Middle and Red Shore Forest, New Haven Valley, and various Ember Vein. Fix an issue causing some rocks to be a bit darker than intended. Adjusted some prop LODs. Replace water audio in places where water should be more still with something more appropriate. And this is something that has been requested by several persons, and someone more recently asked it in our feedback segment. So please, guys, we're reading your feedback. We are listening to it and we act on it when we can. Added water audio to Dryfoot Fortress and Grimstone Canyon, and adjusted a lay finder path in Middleland and North Reach to reduce the chances of clipping in the ground. So it will be maybe important to mention that we do not have an animator, who have said that many times, but we do not really have a sound designer either. It's Undone that created that. And Undone is not a sound designer by trade. He's learning to be one too. Interface. Fix an issue preventing the bulletin board interface from saving, restoring the window position. Fix an issue preventing chat windows from not properly saving, restoring their position. Fix an alchemy toggle button from being activated via keybind if the character did not have alchemy unlocked. Fix a subheading title on consumable tooltip. Drag drop audio is now played when right-clicking to move an item, inspect, bang, etc. Some kind of little detail that really adds to the depth and the polish of the game. NPCs who are not yet dead will show a minimum of 1% health. That's nice, because it's confusing sometimes. This guy is at 0%, why is he still kicking my butt? That NPC nameplate, world space, will sync slightly to differentiate them from ones that are alive. That NPC portrait, UI space, will be dimmed. Improved chat window focusing when hitting enter to type. Added toggle all keybind that is unbound by default. In the interface option you can select which window toggle with this action. Added a new drop down to the audio option that will allow you to select a different audio clip to play when receiving a tell. Added,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, everything for audio slider is nice. Added a footstep audio slider. Adjusted volume slider logic. This required a reset of every one volume level. Music can now be pumped a little louder than it could previously, which is really nice because Embers Adrift was the only game the music was so loud that I had to adjust my settings in a very weird way. Not loud at all. Like in comparison to other games where the music is extremely loud, Embers Adrift was always too low, so that's really cool. Very nice change.
That's how I feel as well, and I love our soundtrack, so I'm always trying to get the different parts of my PC adjusted for audio so I could hear the music, but
yeah, exactly. It was complicated because the music was so much lower, and especially when you compare it to a game like World of Warcraft where I have to put the music at 20% because it's so loud. But yeah, so it was kind of strange, so it's nice that it's being corrected.
Yeah. Design.
Fix an issue where Cordon were incorrectly calling for exile to help them. That's nice. They're not friends. So can you say something about the lore regarding the relationship between the Cordon and the exiles?
Sure. The Cordon are a special breed. I don't know how much we've talked about them.
But they're not friends with the exile.
No, not at all. No, they see the exiles, drifters, New Haveners all as subordinate to them, or maybe not subordinate. That's not. They're worms to them.
Yeah. Okay.
The Cordon think they're way better than everyone else.
Oh.
They're very haughty, and they're the chosen ones. They were chosen by the.
Oh yeah, I see. Everyone else is heretics or something like that.
Yeah, they're have we talked about the origin of the Cordunes?
No, I don't say. No. People need no spoilers. No.
Okay, all right. The Cordon are awesome.
I think that's enough. The tale, we know that they're not considering exile as friends. So
they hate the exiles. They hate everyone but the Cordon humans. They hate them. They tolerate the Wildren in the same zone, but because they're bugs to them, they could squash them if they wanted, but they don't want to waste their valuable time squashing the Wildren. They are so far above in their minds.
So you got a lot of beans today about the Cordon guys. That was the beans of the month, or maybe not. Fix an issue where event mob were awarding more bloops than intended. Okay, we can discuss about that in length.
Whoops, our bad.
No, it's not just our bad. We're going to talk about that. Increased event mob damage slightly. Increase the max amount of damage that NPCs can absorb. For most mobs, this does not change anything, rather it adds more flavor to mob that should feel more armored. The relatively health amounts have been reduced to compensate. Note that this not impact boss mobs at this time. So yeah, that's nice, because then it will feel very different, very strategic, rather than just this mob take ages to kill. So you can maybe adjust the moment where you use your cooldown or your best abilities when they don't have their armor on or something like that. Nice. Yeah, I agree. Reduce the scorpion call for help range. Adjust some log spawn in Dryfoot to better match the level of mobs in the area. Ashen Shrieks are now considered rats. Updated Vagabond Camp in Highland Hill South to be 1 Chevron content. People will be happy about that one. Added a new Raccoon Den to Highland Hill South. Those are soloable, dynamic content similar to Anthill. A little word on that maybe, Drindin.
Yeah, we repurposed some of our other assets that don't really get used in the later levels, and the raccoons are now able to be soloed at these places. And if you guys aren't aware, killing the nests will give you some extra loot. So, which I'm sure you're all aware of. But we wanted Highland Hills South, the lower level part, to have a little bit more soloable areas. There's even a quest that is a little bit easier to do now that one of the camps is soloable. So yeah, enjoy the new experience in South Highland Hills. It's going to be much easier to spend time there and get some stuff done. You know, a lot of the content was mostly, group based, so
yeah, it's really nice
spending as much time there.
It's very nice because Highland Hills was already a zone that were used by player mostly for solo content, versus Retro Forest, which is the other zone that you can do around those levels. Not exactly, but somehow. And Retro Forest for soloing, yeah, you can a little bit, but not that much. But Highland Hills was really good. It was really good for gathering, for crafting, for farming Ember Essence, and then for doing a few quests. And so I think that will really do that, increase a little bit the activities that people can do and reinforce the solo playability specifically of Highland Hills. So if you are a group, you will maybe more likely go to Retro Forest, and if you are by yourself or with just one friend, Highland Hills will be ideal for you at that level range, so which will be 20 to 27, something like that. The Dryfoot Stronghold rare entrance now has 1 Chevron content. People will be happy about that too.
Nice.
Slightly reduce the XP required at level 20 plus. The largest difference will be felt at higher level. Slightly increase the XP reward for tasks for level 20 to 30 bulletin boards. So that's to really help the solo playability of the game at level 20 plus as well. And that has been done with your feedback and ample discussion that happened in the feedback segment. Allow alchemy diversion to stack with bolster armor, which is also something that has been requested. And enabled speed modulation on flatworm. Their top speed now varies. So that's really cool as well. This is also something that has been requested. So you see, guys, your feedback is not useless. We listen and we act.
Yeah, I think people who played the game at launch, who haven't been around for a while, if they come back, they're going to see a pretty big difference in the XP required changes, because we've done that now several times.
Yeah.
And the number of days it takes to get to max level has been pretty drastically reduced.
And there's so much more content to do as well in comparison to launch.
Yeah,
more,
exactly. And
more dungeon.
The bulletin boards. And...
Yeah, and the Embers and... If you really make the difference between launch and now, almost 2 years later, the difference is huge in terms of content, in terms of polish, in terms of performance even.
Yeah, big time. Performance is so much different than at launch.
Yeah. So it will be worth to try the game again, especially now that you can jump in for free. You don't even have to subscribe. You can, of course. We are happy when you subscribe. That's how you can support the studio. But you don't have to. So if you just want to try out and see, okay, is this game better than at launch? You can do it, and without spending a dime. So it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Quest dialogue task. Highland Hills has a new bulletin board task for killing Vagabond, which makes sense. Grimstone Canyon updated board task to now require any animal as a secondary kill objective. Added a bulletin board task for killing Drolsk, that's nice. Reduced the number of stone coats required for the Southern bulletin board task. And Stag and Doe task combined into one secondary objective added to kill other animals, reduce kill count requirements, so some improvement with the task in Grimstone Canyon. Because Grimstone Canyon is a pretty challenging zone just by the layout of the zone itself and how the spawn are. So that's pretty good to have some more balanced task.
We also updated the dialogue for the others in... Well, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. We updated some
stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
In stuff, in quest things.
Yeah. There's been some updated dialogue.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Yes.
I always need to manage Drindin when he speaks about it. It's funny. Set bonuses. We are introducing set bonuses. In preparation for upcoming content, we have added set bonus that offer various stat bonuses when equipping multiple pieces of equipment from the same set or from the same source. Sets come in all varying amount of pieces, with increasing bonuses for more pieces from a set being equipped. Set bonuses exist for outer armor, inner armor, and jewelry, and add another layer of choice in regard to gearing up your character. Note that existing quest rewards have been excluded from receiving set bonuses at this time, but could be included in new quest reward. So very interesting, and I think that's really the new stuff that we can discuss about in longer term, and the reason why people are excited about this update. Let's discuss about the set bonuses at length. This is something that we have been thinking for a while, and it's only now that we can do it. Can you explain a little bit the process of thinking and how we have aborted the question?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's been on our list, but it's always hard to find the right time. There's so many high priority items on the list, and this actually was kind of on the roadmap as far as equipment goes, but we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get to it. And now that we've we're developing Grizzle Peaks 2, and that kind of in the lead up to that, we've had to think about how we're going to create more kind of horizontal content for players in the higher levels. And the nice thing is, like, when we're thinking about how we're going to design the game, not just to benefit one group of level ranges, but the whole game, this was an easy win for us, because it's not just for higher levels, it's for, the whole, anyone playing the game can get the sets. So the nice thing is we had already been making sets of items throughout the game. They didn't have set bonuses, but they kind of already, we kind of set ourselves up with some of the naming that we've done for equipment in the past, and that really allowed us to kind of get the tech done and then hit the ground running hard with this. So we're going to be continuing to add more sets basically, but we already had a lot kind of in the wings waiting, ready to go. So it wasn't a hard choice to make. It was just when can we do this?
Yeah.
And let's not promise things that we're not sure that we can't do without being sure we're going to be able to do them. So yeah.
It's something that we have been discussing since a very long time, but it made complete sense now that we are actively preparing Grizzlepeak 2, that we implement them in game. And the fact that it will benefit everyone and that it's retroactive, and many of you that have already collected certain set of item because you like the look, or I don't know for what reason you may want, you will immediately get those pieces of set. And the bonus on those sets. There had been a few examples that were showcased somewhere, I think, as screenshots from the community.
Yeah. I think Marcus from Oz did a video on the set bonuses, a short little one.
Absolutely. And so this is really cool. And as you will see, some sets require you to have 2 pieces or 3 pieces, but some sets have also multiple layers. So if you have 3 pieces, you have that bonus. If you have 5 pieces, you have this bonus. If you have 7 pieces, then you have this bonus. So just really will allow those of you that enjoy theory crafting, optimizing, or having different sets for different conditions to really play around with that. We do have a part of the community that's really deeply into those kind of metagaming, let's say, or theory crafting, and they enjoy that. So I'm pretty sure that you guys will love this.
And man, it's been, so I will say, like, Grizzlepeak 2 has kind of catalyzed a lot of things for us. It's probably the most complex zone we will ever put out. Just given how things are going to be adjusted for level 50 players trying to get into that zone. And the progression of that zone is going to be different than the rest of the game. So it's very interesting. It's caused us to have to really look through the game as a whole and figure out what we can do. And set bonuses was obviously a part of that. And epic weapons are kind of being discussed in line with that as well. Crafting's being discussed in line. So GP2 has really like catalyzed a lot of discussion on what we can do to enhance the design of the game for level 50 players. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm pretty excited.
And so what will be interesting to speak about also, it's some misconception related to the endgame, because we have always been saying that we didn't want it endgame in the sense of World of Warcraft, to take an example, or Final Fantasy XIV, when you are max level and then the game is absolutely different. You have to go to raids and you have to grind some gear to go to those raids, then I can do the next raid, etc. We wanted to keep this idea of a journey, but we have never said that we will do nothing at all ever for the level 50s, which has been sometimes misunderstood. Probably we have been insisting too much on the fact that don't think about World of Warcraft type of endgame. And we are not working on it right now because we want to polish the journey and the leveling process, because that needed our attention. But this didn't mean that we will never work on it. Can you speak a little bit about that and why we're working on it now, and etc., etc.?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the natural progression of game dev. You know, we've got the game pretty well filled out. We want to be able to give a more horizontal game loop at the end of the game. As game designers, you're always thinking about game loops and giving people things to do at the end of the game. So I don't know how much I want to talk about Grizzled Peaks 2. There is potentially going to be a Grizzled Peaks 3 as well, but not until after we have Forgotten Depths 3 in with epic quests and whatnot. So we have a new creature in the works. Actually, we have a couple of new creatures in the works. I'm really excited for GP2. It's going to be insane. Like the creatures that are going to be in there, some of them may be familiar, but it's going to kind of blow your mind a little bit with kind of what we have planned for there. The others are going to have a pretty big presence there as well. So I won't say what the lore is going to be, but you're going to see. I mean, I think we've already kind of talked about the city of Abaxis and how that was in Grizzled Peaks. We talk about that even in some of the quests in the game, so I don't feel too bad talking about the city of Abaxis being in Grizzled Peaks 2. It's going to kind of be a center point, working your way through the city, and there's a couple different factions at work in there. So yeah, it's gonna be fantastic, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard to work your way through. So just prepare yourselves. You'll probably have to do some gearing up. You're gonna have to do a quest. Yeah, I guess, did I answer your question? I kind of strayed a little bit. What was
I think it's good. We're speaking about the new content in Grizzled Peak 2. So hello Quetzal, is asking, will it be in October? Will it be ready for October? Because it's required a lot of work, more work than usual.
Yeah, it is. Like, there's some serious design work going into everything, especially itemization and stat work. So, I'm not 100% sure. As executive producer, I would like to say
yes. For the anniversary, yes.
Yeah. For as executive producer, I want it to be in by the end of September. But as a game dev, I'm just not sure we'll be able to get it by end of September. I would hope certainly by the end of October, though, we would have that up and running. Especially because then, people coming in for the anniversary can kind of get leveled up, get geared up, get the quest done, and get prepared for that level 50 plus zone. So, that's kind of what we did with Alchemy too. When we launched Alchemy at the end of October, we kind of had people come in for the anniversary and get prepped for Alchemy coming in, and it might have to be the same type of thing here. Yes. Undone is reminding me that there are a lot of things that have to happen. Yeah, even more than I really know about. So I can't, as executive producer, there are things that I desire and wish for, but as a game dev and living in the realm of reality and how much time things take,
Yeah.
Let's hope for the end of October for sure, but no promises.
Yeah, and it's like the player. They often dream about things and they think it's super easy to implement. Well, it's not. We will blame Undone if it doesn't happen.
It gets blamed for everything.
I think there's if we want to do some good content, it needs to be well prepared. It needs to be eternally tested. Because otherwise it's rushed, and sometimes it loses a little bit its power when we release something that is a little bit wonky. Sometimes it happens that we are doing that so we can iterate. Let's say with the bulletin board, for example, that's a good example. We put it in game, it was not complete, so we iterate a lot, but that was the only way we could do it, because we needed to have more player giving their feedback and engaging with the content, so we can really see how it happened than just testing on the QA server, because we have such a small pool of people testing, and the behavior of the player are not the same when they test something than when they play something. It's very, very different. You don't act the same way because there is no consequence when you test. So those kind of things kind of need to be launched, and then we iterate after it's launched. But there is other things that require more polish, more testing, more finished before we really launch them. Otherwise it might be disappointing, and we don't want to do that.
Right. We want to nail this. I mean, it's going to be one of the centerpieces of the game, so we want to really take our time and get it right. And there's always surprises, you know, when you're developing things that you don't expect come along that you have to fix and make sure everything's going well. So
absolutely.
Yeah. But set bonuses are here, and that's fantastic.
And the set bonuses are there because of all of the work done in preparation for Grizzle Peak. And just by that, you can see the extent of the task for Grizzle Peak 2. Let's speak about the community's news. I have a few videos to share that has been created by the community, and it will be the time to speak of the summer event that happened in July and August, mostly in August, because we had a problem with bloops. Yes. There we go. Let's start right away with the video. So I'm showing 3 content creators. The first one is Marcus showcasing the set bonuses in a video. Then we do have Baru, which has been doing a video related to the Dark Hearts quests. Which is funny because World of Warcraft released a Dark Heart quest recently as well for its new expansion. But that quest, it's a quest full of spoilers, so the video is full of spoilers, not the extract I have chosen obviously, but he's reading the quest with several voices. And so it's really, really cool. It's a very nice video. And then last but not least, we have a streamer that I'm showcasing. You will discover who it is in a moment.
Guess what's coming this month in Embers Adrift? Let me show you. Let me just mouse over that and show you. You see that? Item sets. 3 pieces equipped, green scale helm. 3 pieces is 10 stun resist. 5 pieces is 10 stun resist and plus 6 haste. 8 pieces is 15 stun resist, 13 haste. So that's one set. Not hoggets. Ashbourne leather braces is another set. 3 pieces, Ember debuff resists. 5 pieces, plus 1 weapon damage, Ember debuff resists. Excuse me while I have a chat to this bear.
Greetings and salutations, drifters. Bar's back with another one for you. Today I'll be reading all of the dialogue options for the new quest, Dark Heart of the Depths. Join me as I narrate and attempt to do several different voices. If you have any questions or comments, any requests for further lore videos, feel free to let me know. And I'd just like to let you know that there is massive spoilers ahead. The biggest I've ever encountered, you know, lore-wise. It's really a trip. So let's get started. I hope you enjoy. As you approach, the merchant is lost in thought, contemplating something in one of his hands. You can't quite see what it is, but it's clearly enrapturing the man holding it. Seems like you found something interesting there. The man startles and blinks. Oh yes. Sorry, I was distracted. What can I do for you? What's caught your attention so thoroughly? The man gives a sheepish grin. You'd not believe me if I told you. Even old Alamester thinks it's a fancy from one too many sips of wine around the campfire. Try me.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I didn't see. I don't look at the keyboard or the screen when I'm typing. If you know what I mean. That's how I get those damn caps.
Yep. Got a killing blow with that 9 hit point damage. Oh, nice. Dark Forge is up. Yeah, let's get both though. Alright, great. Alright, he's pulling to the corner. Alright, Hawking is stunned. Be the true test here. Let me kill Dark Forge. Oh. Alright, restunning Hulking, and I'm dead.
And voila! That was some nice video of content creator. Please check them out, give your support. That's how we spread the word about Embers Adrift, and also encourage more content creators to create content about us. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you will find all information related to those 3 videos and their creator in the information below. How did you enjoy the voice that Barry made?
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to do some of those myself someday. Some of the lore quests, I'll go on a tear and
yeah, I do
play
that
through 'em.
usually when I'm streaming. I also read the voices of the quest. I really like to do that, and so I could appreciate the effort he made, especially doing a dwarf accent for his own character. That was pretty cool. So there it is. All right, so here, as you can see, today in this community show, we have a slideshow showcasing some picture of the summer event. So the summer event was on in 2 parts. We had 2 weekends. The first weekend happened in July. We had several new content creators jumping in, trying the game, sharing their video. We have been talking about that in the previous community show, so you can check out that chapter if you're interested in knowing more about the summer event of July. But the July event was really just for fun. It was like a draft where I was trying to see how to interact with the community, how to spam the mobs, how to create something compelling and fun, and see what's working, what's not working so much. So in August, I had some experience about what to do to amuse the community, and in addition, we had the bloops. So the bloop, we had a little problem with the bloop. It's that, so the bloop, what is the bloop? The bloop is a currency that everyone participating to a GM event will collect. It will automatically get into your inventory. You don't have it in your bag, it's in your character inventory, and with those bloop that you have collected, you have access to a special merchant that sell cosmetic merchandise, like different pieces of equipment, dice, emotes, a special torch, and some fireworks. So we tried to make something that were fun, not impactful upon gameplay. So if you didn't have the occasion to join the summer event, you will not feel left out. You will not feel like everyone else had an advantage over you. And we also wanted some consumables, so you had always a good reason to come back to the shop if you had obtained every pieces of cosmetic item you wanted. You could, farm some firework, because firework is always cool. And then we had the problem is that as soon as I did the first event, everyone had left with almost 3,000 bloop. we kind of intended to have 200 bloop per event, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there, but that was way too many.
Yeah, and at the end of the weekend, me as the GM that were spawning the mobs, I receive all the bloops automatically because I was there, and people were killing mobs around me. So even though I didn't kill a single mob, I got bloops, and I collected almost 9,000 bloops.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that was not at all what was planned. So what went wrong? There's several things that went wrong. First, we had a problem that had been corrected by Adrift, which was the bear mount, the bat mount, and the spawner basically were allowing too many blobs. So it was easy after the first event. Adrift told me, don't use that anymore. I thought, okay, I'm not using it anymore. But did it solve the problem? No, it didn't solve the problem. And the reason is because I think there was a great disparity between what Adrift conceptualized as what a GM event is and how I handle the GM event. Because
a lot of mobs.
Yeah, I generate the event according to the reaction of the player. If they enjoy something, I put more of it. I do different things. I don't always follow the scripts that you have been preparing. So the way I handle events are a bit different than what has been officially conceptualized and planned by the team by just reacting to the community. For example, I did an event where instead of having waves of mob, I put different little camp here, and so the players had to find the camp, and then they had to beat the camp, and then there was another camp like I made the Cabal and the Exile where the Cabal was plotting something, and they had hidden some camp into the area, and they were defended by Nocturne and some Slackjack, and so it was pretty fun, but it was different, and that spawned a different number of bloop than when you have a wave event. And then another event that I've done and I think had a lot of success, it was Mayhem, where I say there's no lore, there's no reason, it's not roleplay, we don't care, and I just spawn mobs, like just
all the mobs.
Yeah, just to see reaction from the players, and so you have all mobs that doesn't fit together. And of course, it ended with Sharon, and people loved Sharon so much. They enjoyed it so much. And so, you can see some screenshot about Sharon there. So I think the gym event were super fun, but the bloops are not balanced for the way I do the events. And so that's something we'll have to redesign and rediscuss so people don't get like bloops all over their heads.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We are going to be rotating out different stores for different seasons and different celebration events and stuff like that. So you'll definitely be able to use up all those bloops at some point. But
yeah, we'll maybe have to increase the cost of the merchandise in the shop as well.
Either that, or we'll be kind of doing another pass on how much the mobs reward bloops, or how many bloops are rewarded per mob and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think we'll have to work both. It will be a long discussion. But what's nice is that we see that GM event is something that players really enjoy to do.
Honestly, I was gonna start running an event on Friday, but I didn't because there's so many bloops out there. But I guess not everyone got to participate, so maybe not this week, but maybe in following weeks I'll start running some events.
Yeah,
smaller events.
I miss the fair trade hide and seek. Yeah, maybe if you gather people and you make a little petition and you get like, let's say 10 sign up, then I will do it again. You need to gather 10 friends that say, we want the hide and seek. No, but that's the kind of things we can still do, of course. Here it was a little bit busy, so I could not really jump in on the Sunday to do that. So yeah, you know, summer, you have stuff to do on Sunday, usually, that are different than hosting an in-game event. But yeah, so I think the GM event is something really cool and kind of unique to any other MMORPG. You had a streamer that were streaming during the weekend, and he was asking how this game is different from other game. And he was asking that to Alice Blue, which has followed the game since the beginning, so she know Embers Adrift pretty well. But even she had difficulty to really pinpoint what it is, because it's difficult to say how a game is different. It gives a different feeling and a different experience that you get or you don't, depending of your personality and what you care about, or just the kind of mysterious alchemy, and I'm speaking about real life alchemy here, feelings alchemy, emotional alchemy, that happen or doesn't. There's a little part of magic that happened for you to experience something good, and it's like falling in love. You cannot always explain why you fall in love with someone. It just happened, and the star were aligned, the things were, you know, it would just happen. It get there. And it's kind of the same thing with Embers Adrift, because we're trying to recreate something that you cannot really quantify, or you cannot really put easily word on it. It's inspiring emotion.
It's really tough, and the even more difficult thing is to show that snapshot of like what's so beautiful about Embers Adrift in like the first 2 or 3 levels of the game. You just can't do it. So it's one of those things that, you know, for better or for worse, you kind of have to play like the game a little bit and get through the first dungeon and have some big goal that, you know, like you want to get a certain item and the community comes and rallies around and helps you get it, or, you know, for example, like lighting the beacon in the city for the first time with a group of people, or something like that. It's just special. Like it's equal parts community, equal parts focus on grouping, equal parts trying to make it, you know, doable for solo players, and kind of the feeling that you get as you're revealed to more and more wondrous things as you level through the game. It's just like so hard to take that and like shove it into like the first few levels. You just can't do it.
Yeah, because you remove a little bit the points. If the goal is to experience that journey and be captured by it, you cannot do this. It's going to be that way. You have to go through it to experience it, and it's almost impossible to market. But my point was that the GM event could be something a little bit more concrete to showcase, to say, look, we are one of the few MMORPG live that does GM event, that are not automated, that are not created in advance, that are tailored specifically for you, for the people that are online. For example, something I did, which was kind of funny, I don't remember the name of the player, but a player was telling Elloa, immerse me. He wanted more immersion with, you know, the little text you do on the server. And so I made text specifically for him, like a bard was singing the song of that specific player. And the famous hero bravely fought all the exile, and everyone in his group felt amazed by his prowess. And I don't remember exactly but I did that several times, and that person was so thrilled at the end because I had been speaking about it. And at the end, I made a little touch of humor that he was lucky to have his personal bard that he has hired to say holy praise to showcase that he was not that great. In the end, it was not that unique or whatever. It was not better than anyone else, but he was just wanting to be. And I think it was really fun, and it's the kind of things that we can do where you can make it, you can feel unique and special that day, and it's it's done with the inspiration on the moment. It's not planned in advance. It's not scripted. It's just, okay, yeah, you know, I go with you and I interact with you. And I think that's what makes GM events super special.
Yep.
So that could be a nice selling point for Embers Adrift. But we need to sort out the problem of the bloops.
Yes.
All right, so I think that's all the news I have for Embers Adrift. Do you have anything you want to add, Drindin?
You know, just hang in there with the work being done for Grizzled Peaks 2 and Forgotten Depths 3 and Epic Quests. I know, you know, we keep talking about how they're coming, but we are working very hard on them, and they are coming. They are right around the corner. If you look at our roadmap, most of the things are crossed off on it at this point. You know, there's a couple of things left on there. Some of those are very challenging hurdles to overcome, but we're making steady progress, so keep an eye on us and keep playing and keep supporting us so that we can get all that stuff in the game.
Yeah.
Appreciate all your support and all your guys' passion for the game and for us as a dev team, and we're listening, as Elloa keeps telling everyone. We really are, and it's hard. It's a hard job, and you know, we love all your guys' enthusiasm, so keep that coming.
Yeah, because that's what nourishes us. It's your enthusiasm and your joy. Sorry. Your joy, your passion for the game. That's how we get reinvigorated. Without that, it can be difficult to work on this, because, you know, the world and the market are not super nice, and so it can be really rough, and some of you really know what I'm talking about. And so when we see your kindness, your enthusiasm, your joy about enjoying the game, that's why we created. We have not created Embers Adrift to be famous and rich. There's other method for that, like creating an OnlyFans account. But we have created Embers Adrift because we wanted to offer a very specific experience to player and have players enjoying that specific experience. So when players enjoy a specific experience, like the last month's interview that included Baru, Nick, and their friends, that's a specific example of some people that truly enjoy what we have created, the way we imagine and envision the game to be. And so when we see that, that's really rewarding, because we are thinking, oh, all our hard work served at least that group of players that really enjoy it. So this is really great. So yeah, thank you for all of you that are playing our game and sharing that enthusiasm with us, so we can be a little bit happy about what we have done and have more energy to create more. And we need to prepare for the anniversary.
Yes, that's the next big thing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
Soon 2 years, guys. 2 years Embers Adrift has existed. And it's so nice to see how the game has evolved.
And we are very proud of what we've built, so we appreciate you guys playing the game, and as Elloa said, you know, giving us all the feedback. So thank you very much. You guys are have just as much cause to be proud of it as we do, because you guys are a big part of creating it the way that it is.
Thanks
you
so
for
much.
having me.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure. I was not expecting you to be there, because tomorrow Drindin will be at the meeting gathering in Minnesota. Some of you are joining the team to say hi a certain day, so that's great. If you have the possibility, go there. Where it is exactly and when it is?
Yeah, Saturday at noon in Duluth, Minnesota. So if anyone's roundabout the Minnesota area and can get up to Duluth, just send me a DM and let me know you're coming so that we don't miss you.
Yeah, that would be great. Unfortunately, I will not be there. The plane tickets were too expensive, so I'm staying here in Belgium. You guys take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for playing our game, and see you soon. Bye, everyone.